Romeo France 59 into the UK, Roger.
Roger, you're 59 plus 1, very strong here. This is Merry Christmas, many thanks for the contact.
Merry Christmas, friends. Have a good Christmas, Happy New Year. 73DL1BFR G6XX. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
QRZ, the station. The QRZ, Golf 6 X-ray listening.
Golf 0 Alpha Italy X-ray.
Golf 0 Alpha Italy X-ray. Afternoon, David. Nice to work you the first time. You're through to Ian, India Alpha November Ian, up in Darlington in County Durham.
Okay.
5-9, Roger.
Just turn this volume down a little bit.
You're very busy, so long hold it. And good luck with the station.
Okay.
Yeah, Roger, David, thanks for that. I was on last night and...
Let's just see if... well, I think the audio's still going through anyway, but... okay, what I'm actually doing is... I've got a Sun SDR Pro. Sun SDR2 Pro. Right, that's what it is. Sun SDR2 Pro. I've got three Sun SDRs altogether, but... this is for the settings for my Sun SDR2 DX. So that's what I'm using at the moment here. And I'm going to set up the Sun SDR2 Pro. So I'm just going to show my settings. And then at least when you set in the Pro up, or when I'm setting it up, I have something to go by. Because normally I'd have to start from scratch. So this is just a for instance of what I've actually got set up on the Sun SDR2 DX. So there's the IP address. I've already got it sorted. I'll have to do it when I actually get to Bulgaria and do it there. But I've set it up normal for here in the UK with my router, and I'm going to have to set it up with a different router, because I think here it's 192.168.11. That's the router stuff, and I think over there it's 0.1, so I'll have to check it, but this is what I've actually got at the moment. Okay, Fox DSP. So I don't use the DSP. Well, it's on there, so that's what they are. TX, this is what I've got at the moment. With the ISWR, doesn't matter. If you set it to, as it says there, 2, apply it. Later on it'll change back to 3 point whatever. So forget that. All the rest here is as normal. Excuse me. The PA part, enable the tone mode, so you can actually on your keyboard. I'll do the settings for the keyboard as well, because you haven't got a Shuttle Express. So these will be the keys for the keyboard. So you press the del, i.e. the full stop, on the numeric pad. Can just about get that out. Press a 0 and then it goes into tune, and then you can see what your power is. So that's just that. Right, so these are everything that I've got set up at the moment for the TX. CW don't really use. It's there, but I've not set it up as I wanted it, so don't worry about it. External, right, this is for an expert amp, Expert 1K, or any expert. So these settings will work for it. So don't worry about the amp, because you're only going to get the TX part, and you don't need to set this part up, but just in case, at least there's the information. And then the expert. So with this, because it's only 20 watts on the Sun SDR2 Pro, you'll have to have a gander and see exactly what you need, i.e. because you don't want to use more than 8 watts. So that's that. So sound card, right, you'll have to set the sound card up, and on your sound, let me just have a look at the moment. It's one I didn't get sorted out. Settings. Let me just have a look, turn that off. Rubbish. Device. No, let me just look at something else. Sound settings. Right. Sound control. That's what I really want. So you'll have to do yourself some settings on here. You'll have to go and set them all up in virtual audio. You will have, let me just see, Sun SDR2. You will have, I think, VSPE, virtual sound, whatever it's called. So I'm sure you've got that already, or I've got that already. It's already on the other computer. So all you need to do is go in there. Let me just load it up and have a look. No. Right, no, I don't want to do that one. Yes, I want to quit. Let me just see if it's this one. No, that's for the COM ports. Let me see if it's this one. Virtual audio cables. Okay. So that's what you actually need. And there's the settings for it. So that's your virtual audio cables. You'll do 4 altogether. And as you can see for each one, that's what you need to set up and do 4 altogether. So just have a look while you're actually doing it. So let's get rid of that now. And then when you need to, you can actually go into the sound, because we're using, this is normally for Windows 10. You can do it on Windows 7, but there's a different way to do it. But Windows 10 you'll have no problem. So you've got all the ones that you need for your mic input, mic output. We'll just have to have a look and see what's there. Okay, so that's out of the way. So as you've got here, you've got all the different ones that you need. You just select which one. At the moment, this is enabled, so you can enable it. So that's for your sound. Okay. Your VAC. This is for your virtual audio. So 1, 2, 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom. So 1 for RX, 2 for TX. And this is the settings for it. Number 2, exactly the same. 3 and 4, and there are all your settings there. Okay. So display. This is what I've got, just to whatever my screen is, so you can see what the background is in that for the main. So you can change all this to whatever you want. Spectrum. That's what I've got at the moment. The waterfall, once again, you can actually change it to whatever you want to do. But this is just what I've got at the moment. The grid is as it is there. Filters, once again, change to whatever you want to do. But this is what I've got at the moment. Background, once again, you can actually change it, put an image on the background or whatever you want to do, but that's what I've got. Indicators, that's what you've got. I've got peak, but I'm doing both. Next is your cat, and what I've done with cat is with Comocom I've done 3. So just remember what each are there, and also make sure you've got both of these ticked. It's a little pain in the backside to get it set up, but no problem. As long as you've got them set up, then you can use all this for your COM ports anyway. At least you'll get to see what they are. So that's what they are at the moment. Okay, so we can get rid of that now. So there's your settings just there, and then your RX2, that's your settings there. Okay, next we're going to go on to the panel. So you haven't got one of these, so don't worry. Features. If you want to actually put different programs or load different programs up to work, then all you need to do is go and find the program and add it into whatever you want to do on here. You can either press it, or it'll actually load up straight away when you load the Sun SDR2 program. Okay, next one, that's what I've got set up here. CW skimmer, I've not set it up, but this is what's in there. RX2. So shortcuts, this is what you need to take a quick look at, because this is what I've got set up and I use on my keyboard. So if you haven't got nothing to actually an encoder or anything to do anything with it, and you haven't got a Shuttle Express or nothing like that, you just want to use your keyboard, that's fine, it's no problem at all. So then all you do is use these shortcuts. So let's go down there, and then you can see exactly what's there. As I said, there's a 0 for your tune, your drive, MOX. So that's what I've got set up at the moment. I haven't set loads up, because I only use a few of them, and they all work without any problem whatsoever. So that's all I have set up for the shortcuts. Nothing set up on here really. TCI, right, you want to do this for your logbook programs or anything at all like that, just enable it. So there you go, you can see what's there. Enable it back up, and that'll work. Spots, this is what I'm actually doing for spots, and you will be able to see them like there's one just there. So that's your spots on there. So you can put as many as you want in here. Let's just take that out, put that back in, so you can see that 1, 2, 3 is working and 3 aren't. So they'll try and connect as many times as you want. They'll go and do it anyway, and then they'll start putting your spots up there. And that's roughly about it. Right, let's get rid of that. Okay, so with the profiles, these are all the profiles. Show the analyzer. When you want to do your audio, you can go in here, set it up as it is there. Let's just get rid of that. Set it up as it is there. When you're actually talking to the mic, you want to keep yourself roughly on that pink line. Pink, red, whatever colour you see it as. And that's all you need to do. Once you've actually finished and you think you've got it set up there, go back down to here, turn it off, turn it back on, and your spectrum will, because normally when you're actually speaking, you'll get all the ups and downs of your audio on that line. And then to clear it, click there, click back on. That's it. Let me just try and think what else. With your profiles, you set whichever one you want up. It'll take a little bit of while, and then you can go and update them, remove them, whatever you want to do. Like I say, it's just trying it out to see exactly what you can see there. On the side here, your RX, your TX, and show the S meter, which is down here. This is just for version 2 though. Version 3 is going to be totally different. So play around with version 2 first, and then go on to version 3 as and when. RF, that one's at 64 dB. So what you want to do, go on to a quiet frequency. Well, you can see it's black there. So click on there and then bring it down to where you can just about hear nothing at all on the band. And then when you go and listen to somebody, you'll have no problem at all hearing them, and the majority of the background noise will be gone. And absolutely brilliant quality of audio. So mixer, that's for your A and B, because you've got 2 receivers in here. I don't know if it's got 2 receivers in the Sun SDR2 Pro. You'll have to check. I think it has, but I don't know. Take off the mixer. FAC, mute. Set your audio up the top. So normally when I do stuff, I do it and then I'll leave it. Steps, I go on each band, top band all the way up to 2 meters, and set my steps up on each one. And I normally have it on 50 Hertz. Received EQ and transmit EQ I don't use. I'm using an outboard 8-band EQ and other audio gear, so I don't use the one that's installed in the software. You can, absolutely brilliant, but I've already got the equipment, so that's why I use it. Mic, you can choose whichever mic you're going to use. Might want to, depending what's on the front. And PC, more than likely you'll be using the PC, because your outboard audio gear goes into a sound card, external sound card, then an external sound card into the PC straight across. So there shouldn't be really any large latency problems between the computer and the audio going through to the radio itself through the software. Drive, once again, you'll have to see what you need to set up for an amplifier. Tune, normally I use it around about, depending on your amp and how you want to do it, I use I think about 10 watts, 12 watts, something like that, when I'm tuning my power, just to get the ATU to work on the Expert 1K, and do it that way and make sure it all works through there. But using, let me think, which LDG 1000 Mark II you're going to be using, so that needs to be set roughly probably around about 20 watts, and then your transmit power, your audio power, is going to be about 8 watts, but at least you can tune up on 20 watts and get a good enough SWR reading before you start using 300, 400, 500 watts, whatever. So that's all it is on there. Right, what else? Processor. Okay, with this, let's just move it up. With this, I don't use it. What you'll have to do is, if you're going to try it, because I think Vasily, I'm sure Vasily's done it. Vasily's done a video, so you can actually see how you go through with a headset, going through the PC onto the Sun SDR radio, but he's using the transmit EQs and all that stuff. So DC block, rotation, preprocessor, your filters, noise gate, compression, always check these just in case. If you ever get an audio problem and it's going overboard and that, come straight into here, just click on processor, not the tab on the side, process, and it'll come into here. First thing you go and do is click on the compression, and then more than likely that's enabled. I've had that done before. So that's the compressor, limiter, equalization, I think 8 band, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 band EQ. So with that you can actually go and do this. If you want to do the inboard, there's quite a few videos out there on YouTube, and that shows you all about how to do the EQs on version 2 and also version 3. There's a couple of guys now, or quite a few guys that's actually done all that now, so that's quite good. AGC, clipper, and then profiles. So if you're going to do a profile, stick it in here, save it, import it every time you do it. I don't use it on here, so I don't really look too much. The only ones I normally do is, let me just see which one here. Click on that. Like I say, I don't, if it's already set, I just leave it and I just operate. Depends if I change to a different microphone, then I remember what I've got to go and do. So all this forget now. Let's just get rid of process, go up to the top here. I've got a Procaster and a PR7081, and then headset and all that. So you can do as many profiles as you want and change them. Then you can go into either your processor there, and then also click on show analyzer, so you can do all the top, so it all goes through and everything. Then click that to get rid, and click the processor to get rid, or process, and that's about it really on that. Let's see what they're actually coming through on. USB. What's this? German station. Okay. So with version 3 it's totally different, so you'll have to start from scratch with version 3, and make sure that the firmware, let me just have a gander on this info, right, so there's the version. I'm on 72.8 and PA version 13. I think it's version on version 3 when you have to update the firmware, it's on 78.2, something like that. I can't remember now, but that's why it goes up to. So have a look on the forum, Sun SDR forum, and it'll tell you what the latest firmware is. So that's what I've normally got at the moment. About, this is what you should be up to as well, version 1.3.1 update 11. So that's the latest one for version, or the last one for version 2. Now it's all on version 3. I'm just waiting for version 3 to get to the let's say quality I want to do, same as on version 2. If most of this stuff is in version 3, which it's not at the moment because it's only on beta 1, so once it's actually up to this kind of level, then I'll change over, because most of the guys who's got the Sun SDR will have updated. Most of them do anyway, go straight on to from 2 to 3, and they play on 3. Me, I'm not really bothered at the moment because I know this works exactly as I want it. So once everything's in version 3, then I'll change over to version 3. I've already played around with it. It's a brilliant program, but I like the ergonomics of version 2, so that's why I'm still here. What else about that? device options. Okay, always keep your sample rate. It's a pity you can't go more than this. 312 hertz. Oh, sorry, kilohertz. Sorry, I couldn't see it. So keep it on that, and then you're going to get this quality, or sorry, this bandwidth. On options, display. Let me just find it. Device. No, it's not on that. Just got to see what it is. Main. Okay. 4K. Displaying 4K. So this is where you need to go. I'm just thinking about exactly what you need to do. So display. Click on that, and you're going to the 4K, because you'll be using the 4K monitor, whereas I'm not here. So you'll get the 4K quality there. Absolutely fantastic. I think that's roughly about it. You can change your different antennas from here. You receive, you transmit. For instance, also, just so you can remember from different programs and that. Click AB, both gone together. So now if I click on here, if I click there, and then I even can click with a mouse and do that, and it'll switch between each one. Or I can use my Shuttle Express and click between them. And also zoom in, see what the bandwidth of their audio is, roughly around about 3K. That's where he is. So you can go all the way from that. So that's the quality of the audio, but you can go out to whatever size you want to do. So let me just go back in. Okay. I think that's roughly about it. You can see what the settings are on here. Okay, make sure that your preamp level is set on 10 dB, plus 10 dB. That's normal. So don't worry about it. It's how everybody in the forum's been told to check for their receive the signal. Because it's SDR, it's totally different to a normal radio. So yeah, use that and you should have no problems. With Sun SDR 2DX, I know they work that way, but with the 2 Pro I have no idea, because it's a different radio, and I don't know if it's exactly the same as a 2DX. 2 Pro, who knows? I don't, because I've only just got it and I haven't used it to its potential at the moment, because I haven't taken it to Bulgaria. So that's that. Let's see what this one is. Okay, also look at the file section, and if you want to put the extra 11 meters in there to have a listen to, 6 is already open. Depending on what your antenna will be, you can go, because my amp doesn't do 60 meters, so I go to 40, and then from 40 it'll keep the same antenna, and then I can go straight on to 60. Okay, so let me just turn this up a little bit.
If anything went wrong with it, you could, still adapt it and improve it.
So what I do, as I said, with my Expert amp, go to 40, straight up to 60, that's no problem. But if you've got a different antenna connected to your radio, because you've got 3 antenna inputs, 2 for HF, 1 for VHF, so you can actually put a G5RV on, for instance, this is A2, so on A1 you put either G5RV, for instance, and then A2 you have something for certain bands of beam or anything like that. I know, ultra beam. But then all you have to do, come onto here, and as long as your amp can tune on there, or you just want to use the 20 watts that is from the radio, then you can actually go and tune on this without any problems. So that's, you don't have to go to 40 to 60, you can go straight to 60 and tune up that way. So that's no problem there. Trying to think of anything else that you might need to remember for the 2 Pro. Okay, I think that's it. So the receive is fantastic.
That fridge at the moment, I'm surprised the shelves aren't collapsing. It is absolutely packed. We've got 1 fridge and 1 freezer, and it's not huge. But yeah, with careful packaging, you can get everything.
Okay, this is what I'm actually receiving at the moment. This is just on a, let me just check on the amp, a G5RV. So, as I say, if you've got no audio, you just listen to this. Bring it right down, you can't hear nothing now. Very, very low. And now,
so I sort of shuffle off and have a play with making
no real
pieces
background
and
at
that.
all.
But yeah, it's a 1-to-1 ball, and it'll go in a
Let's bring
piece
it
of
back
drain pipe, hopefully,
like
cut off to about an inch, inch and a half or something like that, and then glued to a piece of plastic, and then
Plus 15, plus 20, plus 20. Et puis le 6BXH, c'est assez cuirot également. Voilà, oui, ok, pour les... Oui, c'est vrai que les appareils maintenant, ce soit des appareils... Enfin, toutes les dernières générations.
Okay, put this one up, and then it gives me another...
Uniform Yokohama to Victoria, Madrid, calling CQ and bye. We're getting ready for a great big storm that they've been predicting now for 5 or 6 days. And,
so here's your spots.
6 to 9
if
inches
you want
of
to
snow
use them.
today, but the real fluffy
They're all up
stuff.
top, you just click on them
Air
and it takes you
temperature
there.
Fahrenheit right now is about -7. And after this snow.
Charlie, Tango 7, Alpha 3, Papa, ça va?
Okay, 17. 15. Knocks it straight out. Turn it off. That's the LEDs from my neighbour's Christmas lights. So, at least if I want to, knock it out, no problem. That's quite strong. Okay, let's pop that back to the frequency I normally leave it on. Normally if I can hear anybody on 11 meters, then I know 10 and maybe 6 is open. All these little spikes are interference I'm getting. 6, nothing at all. So pop back up to 80.
Music as well.
look at my homepage. I've got also some things for music, and also a tube amplifier, and so on and so on. So I'm
also check on the bottom here how much CPU usage. This use, as you've just seen, it goes maximum about a 4. It's showing it's 13.4 volts. Normally, if you want full power from the radio, and that go up to about 14.4 volts, but 14, you get full power then, 38 degrees. And don't forget, you can actually put a fan, 12 volt fan on top, keep it cool as well.
Yes, nice Christmas and Happy New Year. If we don't
see what else is on there. 80 meters. Okay, as you can see with the screen altogether, just click on here. What do I want to do? Display, waterfall. Is it the waterfall? I think it is. Let me just take off automatic. I'm sure it's automatic I need to take off. Oh yeah, sorry. Synchronous. Apply. Let's just get rid for now. And you can change this to whatever you want. So that's just one to check, just in case. So going up or down. So you say, right, we'll leave it there so you can see all the background there. Go back into options, go to automatic, apply it, click OK, and it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how you put it or not, it's automatic. So you might as well just leave it on automatic. You can change all the colours, the background, put a picture, change all this, however you want to do it. There's lots you can do. I'll leave that as rainbow, spectrum, lines, gradient. So as you can see now on the background, it can either be like that. Looks a bit more like excuse me, more like a Yaesu spectrum there. Whereas lines, I prefer the lines. It's a lot better. But don't forget, you've got your spots, and if you go into your memory, actually go into your memory, and you've got certain ones you can actually set up as well. So I'm just using the G5RP at the moment. Signals, what time is it? 3 minutes to 5.
Germany 8, Denmark, Victoria Kilowatt, Golf 8, Delta, Victor Kilo. Any copy, Ron? Over, over.
That's just gone over onto a button at
Delta Lima 9, Norway, Delta Whiskey. Delta Lima 9, Norway, Delta Whiskey. 4x4, 4x4.
I'm just about
Negative.
here a little
Norway,
bit more.
Denmark Whiskey.
on the vertical
Denmark,
for DX
Whiskey,
than
Norway, Delta, Whiskey, Roger.
G5RV.
Roger, thank you for the 5x8. You came up to 5 and 5 here.
I'd love
Thank
to put
you,
a full square up.
73, running a kilowatt into a vertical antenna.
Not got the
Bye-bye.
room, but there you go. Okay, well that actually shows you, just turn this down a bit, that actually shows you what you've got set up at the moment on the version 2 software, so at least you know what's got to be set up. You can just about hear somebody there, so you know somebody's there. Couldn't have a QSO with him though.
1, 2, 3. Just my report wrong several times, please. You're quite weak. GM4DLG listening.
I think he said 4x4. No, that's not going to do nothing to it.
Roger, ZL4 RMF, GM4DLG, QSL the 4 and 7.
Oh, 4 and 7, I thought he said 4 and 4.
Nice to hear you after quite a few weeks off the air. Thank you so much for your patience. But you're not very strong. I don't know whether you're going to get any stronger, but we have a valid QSL. I repeat once more, you are 3x3.
It's brilliant when you actually use this. If you've got some monitor speakers, which I know you have, give this a try and you'll see it. Say if you're sitting in the middle of the 2 speakers or 4 speakers, whatever you're using, try this, and if you put it on as I've done it now, turned it on to be right in the middle, absolutely brilliant, spot on. If you've got to try it to listen to it and then you'll understand. Then turn it off, there you go, there's your stereo, and then that right in the middle of your head. Absolutely brilliant it is. Let's go back.
Japan Victor Golf.
Florida 5, Papa Hotel Whiskey, Foxtrot 5, Papa Hotel Whiskey. At Florida 5, Papa Hotel Whiskey. Florida 5, Papa Honolulu, Washington. Foxtrot 5, Papa Hotel Whiskey. QSL. QSL, ZL4 RMF, Florida 5, Papa Hotel Whiskey, good evening, good morning. You are a 3x3, a 3x3, a 3x3, QSL.
Okay, that's 2 receivers in operation.
QSA. Many thanks for the nice QSO. I wish you all the best. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. 783, bye-bye, and thank you very much.
Uniform Radio 5,
Oscar November 7 Whiskey Mike. Ocean Norway 7 Whiskey Mexico.
Uniform Radio 5, Radio Papa. Uniform Radio 5, Radio Papa.
Yeah, Roger, Ron. Thank you very much. Good morning to you. Good evening from the northeastern part of Belgium, Ron. You're 4 and 7, 4 and 7, 47, Ron, QSL.
AKB mixer, that's what it's for. Set it up like this.
Yeah, Roger, Ron. Thank you very much. Yeah, a long time we spoke to each other, but finally we did it before Christmas. Thank you very much for the 5 and 7 report. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll meet again in 2023. 73 is 1, Zulu Lima 4, Radio Mike Fox, Oscar November 7, Whiskey Mike. 73, bye-bye.
Hotel Bravo 9 Boston Lima Quebec. Hotel Bravo 9 Boston Lima Quebec.
Uniform Radio 5, Radio Papa.
Germany 8 Delta Victor Kilo.
Uniform Radio 5.